Hello everyone and welcome to the Thermo Gourmand Kitchen. My name is Megan Tuffley and I'm a Thermomix consultant, and I'm available virtually as a consultant as well as in person. So if you're after a consultant, if you have a machine and you don't have a consultant, I'm more than happy to help you. Today we're going to be making the easiest lemon curd you've ever made in your life, and this recipe comes from originally the recipe community, Edna's lemon curd tea cake. Now Edna, apparently Thermomix Australia's tried to contact Edna and have been unable to do so because this recipe has been so incredibly popular that they've popped it on to Cookie Dough. Now I've adapted it a little bit. Of course I adapt recipes, you should know that by now. And in my lemon curd, I really like lemon rind. So I have downloaded or uploaded the Cookie Dough recipe to my created recipes, which you can do on the TM6. And I've adapted it to have a little less sugar and to have another step where you grind the sugar with lemon peel. Lemon that I've peeled very, very, very finely. I've got Mayer lemons, which are very thin skinned, so they're easy to peel with a really, a good peeler. I'll just show you what my peeler looks like. That's one of them. Here's another one. These ones, they are brilliant for actually slicing peeling very, very thinly. So if you ever see anything like that, and there is one in the toolkit, the Thermomix toolkit that you get when you're a consultant, which is fantastic. So I've added that extra step, and also I just use raw sugar, not white sugar that the recipe calls for. Now butter, another thing I wanted to talk about, because I made this yesterday at our cooking class that we had done here in Albany. And what I was talking about was butter. The recipe calls for unsalted butter, and a lot of baking recipes do. The reason being that when you are cooking a dish and you need to test it for whether it's salty for flavor, to make sure that it has the seasoning, you can taste it and you can see whether it needs salt or not. With a baking recipe, you're not necessarily going to taste the dough or the batter, and various butters have different salt quantities. So you need to be aware that you could be adding a lot more salt than that's actually necessary. So that's why they call for unsalted butter and a pinch of salt. And if you like more salt, 2 pinches of salt. It's up to you. Salt does bring out the flavor in sweet recipes. Also, unsalted butter is fresher because it doesn't keep very long, so it's very, very fresh. I'm using salted butter today because I know my brand of butter and I know how salty it is. Okay, let's get started. Now, how we find our created recipes on the TM6 is the little hamburger menu, and down to my recipes, the first one there, and created recipes. All right, so I've only just added this, so it's actually at the top. Edna's lemon curd tea cakes, Thermo Gourmand style. There we go. So let's click that one, and it'll come up with start cooking. Now this is a type of guided cooking, a little bit different from your Cookie Dough guided cooking. Start cooking. It says enjoy your cooking your own recipe creation. Well, it's not really mine, it was Edna's and I've just adapted it. I hope she doesn't mind, wherever she is. So add 90 grams of white sugar and the thinly peeled rind of 1 lemon. Now if I click that, it'll come up with the scales. It also comes up with the ingredients, so I don't have to think about it. So my 90 grams of sugar, that'll do, and the thinly peeled rind of 1 lemon. And then I cross out of that because we were in a mode, we were weighing, and I go to the next part. Mill 10 seconds, speed 8. Now that's just a bit of a guess because I don't remember what I normally do. So I've just had a guess. Is somebody trying to contact me? No, that's okay. 10 seconds, speed 8. Okay, and I have to close the dialog box. It's got a little message there, close the dialog to continue. So I just cross out of that. Now I'm going to have a quick look. Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, 10 seconds, speed 8. It's really, oh my gosh, it smells gorgeous. It's really until your lemon rind is fine enough because you don't want big chunks of lemon rind in there. I think that's pretty, I might just do a little bit more. It's pretty good, but now put it in the light of the window. I can see there's a few chunks. Now I've still got that there. I scraped it down. I can just go straight back to there and do that again. Probably not for as long. That'll do. I can see, I can hear that it's gone around the edges. It's not doing a great deal. But that should be good now. Yep, I can see that is wunderbar. Oh my gosh, it smells fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, now crossing out of that dialogue because we were in a mode, okay? And next. So now I click and it's giving me the ingredients and the scales have come up. So 60 grams of lemon juice, 60 grams of butter. Oh, and it's come up with 100 grams of white sugar. So I need to go in there and edit it. And I actually go onto my laptop and edit it that way. It's a lot easier. But so I added only 90 grams of the sugar. So 90 for the lemon curd and 90 for the biscuit base. So reducing it quite a bit. All right, so, and we need 1 egg. So there we go, only a whole egg, not egg yolks. So you don't have any leftover whites. There we go. Now, truly, this is amazing. Now, this goes for 5 minutes, okay? So I'm going to close off the live. You can just leave it open and stay on the page, and I'll come back for part 2, okay? Because I don't think you want to sit here and listen to me rabbit on for 5 minutes while this is cooking. I'll just show you how it does. It's 5 minutes, 90, speed 4. We've only got 30 seconds or so to go with our lemon curd. Not too long, and you'll find that it's quite runny when it's first cooked, but it will thicken up as it cools down. And you don't have to wait for it to cool for a long time. Once you've made the dough and popped it into your greased rose gold tray, then pretty much the curd is ready to go in. The regular recipe calls for it to be put in the larger tray with the 6 holes, but I prefer to make the smaller ones, and then I can send them off for lunch for my husband. There we go. So I'll show you what that looks like now. Absolutely divine. The smell is fantastic and so easy. I mean, how easy is that? If you left out the grinding of the lemon rind and the sugar, it's basically throw everything in, turn it to speed 4 and the temperature, and that's it, and walk away for 5 minutes. Nothing like what you'd have to do on the stove. And a whole egg. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous lemon butter. Oh, I can't tip it up too much or I'll tip it out. What I'll do is I'll just grab the spoon and show you. Okay, that's the consistency at the moment, but it's going to thicken up. All right, now normally you would have to tip that out into another bowl and wash the bowl, dry the bowl to make the biscuit base. If you don't have a TM6, there's a fabulous opportunity to get a second bowl cheaper. All right, it's not a special offer or anything, but what it is, you've got to, if you purchase a TM6 before the 17th of October, you receive a $75 mix shop voucher. If once your machine arrives, and it arrives very quickly, you have a delivery demo with me, which can be via Zoom, via Messenger, via FaceTime, whatever you like. You also get 20% discount at the mix shop, which makes the second bowl, instead of being $375, makes it $225. A lot cheaper. So there is a chance for you to get a second bowl with your TM6. Okay, so we're going to close the dialogue and done that, so we need to go next. Pour into a bowl and set aside until needed. Clean and dry. No, I'm just putting my second bowl on. Preheat the oven, done. Greased my 12-hole beautiful rose gold muffin tin with butter and set aside. Now yesterday at the cooking class I handed this to a couple of the people in the front row and they were really surprised at how heavy it was. It's really good heavy gauge, and so it doesn't wobble, it doesn't warp in the oven. Absolutely beautiful and really non-stick. I haven't tried it without greasing it because I think the lemon butter, if it leaks out a little bit, might stick if I didn't grease it. But I'll try it and see. I'm always willing to try something that's easier. Miss out a step? Absolutely. All right, and there's an arrow. Place 150 grams of self-raising flour. Right, there we go. See, so the scales come up automatically in your created recipes. So that makes it just so much easier than trying to follow a recipe on a piece of paper or on your iPad or phone. 60 grams of butter. Now I've weighed everything. Normally you tear. I've weighed everything out, so I'm fine. And honestly, it didn't save my 90 grams of sugar, so I need to change that. I need to do some editing. Okay, so I haven't got 100 grams of sugar. I have got 90. Nearly 90 anyway. And the egg. Where's my spatula gone? Over here. So, such an easy biscuit recipe. So easy. It's a little cross between a biscuit and a cake, this one. But it's a real favourite. You can make it into a large, full-size cake if you want to as well, for a dessert. Cross out of there. Okay, we've done all that, so 30 seconds, speed 5. That's it. That's how it combines. It's so easy. Super powerful, this machine. When it's at speed 10, that's 10,000 revs, per minute. Those blades do 10,000 revs per minute. Pretty amazing. Okay, it's quite a soft dough. Okay, you can see that. And I'm just going to scrape it a little bit just to make it easier to get it out. Now the recipe, general recipe calls for tablespoon because of course it's a bigger size, but I just use basically a heaped teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of the dough. Just a little ball. Okay, clean hands, roll into a ball, pop it into your tray and press it like that. Okay, so I'm pressing it in the middle and leaving a little bit of the edge so that it's a little tiny cup for the lemon butter. So then we pop a teaspoon. Oh, I better get a clean teaspoon out. Oh, yeah, here we go. Right, a teaspoon or so of the lemon butter. See, that's already starting to set up. So just a little bit, just so it doesn't go over the edges. And then it says to crumble in the recipe. Well, you can't really crumble this sort of soft dough. So what I do is I just pick a bit off and I just break it into little bits, little ragged bits, and pop it on top of the lemon butter, the lemon curd. And honestly, you could do this, you could do a passion fruit, you could do lime, you could do orange. I think there's quite a few versions of this little recipe. I think it's very, very adaptable. It doesn't need to be completely covered. Can't really show you. I might be able to just, hang on, move my screen a little bit to show you, kind of. You see that? Okay, so that's how I do it. And I will continue to fill the rest of the tray. Pop it in the oven at 170 for, I'll just cross out, I think it's 15 minutes. Yep, 15 minutes at 170. I'll have the pictures up on my Facebook page when they're finished, and my husband's going to really enjoy these in his lunch tomorrow for morning tea or afternoon tea. So thanks very much for watching, and if you're in the market for a TM6 or you need any assistance, you know how to contact me. You can message me, you can post below this video, you can, I think I've got my link tree there, so you can go on there and contact me that way, and I'll be happy to help you any way I can. All right, thank you very, very much, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye. Here they are, the beautiful lemon curd tea cakes. You can see how I just had little lumps of dough on top and it spread out because it was self-raising flour. Now they have to stay in the tin until they're cold. I have been able to take them out while they're still a little bit warm and put them on a tray, but they're actually better left in here until they're cold. If you are worried, if you don't have the beautiful rose gold tray, just use paper cases to keep, you know, so that they don't stick, and then they're easier to take out. Okay.